Some heroes wear scrubs instead of capes. Smash like if you believe true strength heals. Subscribe for more untold stories of valor. Asterisk, the medical bay of the USS Theodore Roosevelt hummed with its usual controlled chaos. Nurses moving between beds, the sharp scent of antiseptic, the low murmur of consultations. Commander Rachel Wyatt stood at attention in her crisp white uniform, her medical degree hanging on the wall behind her. She was the youngest chief medical officer in the fleet, a fact that made older officers bristle until they saw her work. Today's inspection had been routine. Rear Admiral James Coulter, a legend with 30 years of service, was making his rounds. He paused at bed 12, where a young sailor lay with a fresh appendectomy scar. "Good stitching," the Admiral remarked. "Clean work." "Thank you, sir," Rachel said. Then the Admiral's eyes flicked to her. "You ever see combat, Commander?" The question was casual, but the weight behind it wasn't. Rachel kept her expression neutral. "Some field medicine during my residency, sir." The Admiral nodded, already moving on, until the sailor in bed 12 spoke up. "Doc Wyatt saved my buddy's life last month," the kid said, eager. "Took shrapnel during drills." She reached right into his chest and pinched off an artery like it was nothing. The Admiral turned back, intrigued. "Is that so?" Rachel's jaw tightened. "Standard procedure, sir." The Admiral studied her. "Show me." "A beat." "Sir, your hands." Surgeons' hands tell stories. Rachel hesitated, then extended her hands. The Admiral examined them, the long fingers, the faint scars along the knuckles. "These aren't just or scars," he murmured. Then, sharper, "Lift your shirt." The room went still. Rachel didn't move. "That's an order, Commander." Slowly, Rachel unbuttoned her uniform shirt, revealing the standard issue undershirt beneath. Then she lifted it. Along her right side, just below the rib cage, were 4 perfectly spaced, crescent-shaped scars. Old, faded, but unmistakable. The Admiral's breath caught, because he knew exactly what made marks like that. 6 years earlier, Mosul, Iraq. Then Lieutenant Wyatt wasn't supposed to be there. The Marine unit she was attached to had been ambushed, cut off from extraction. The dust from IEDs hung thick in the air, mixing with the coppery scent of blood. She'd been kneeling over a wounded corporal when the insurgent grabbed her from behind. The knife went in just below her ribs. Once, twice, 3 times, before she managed to twist and jam her own scalpel into his throat. The 4th stab came as he fell. She'd tied off her own wounds with a torn piece of her uniform, then gone right back to work. By the time evac arrived, she'd stabilized 7M. N01 talked about the 4 dead insurgents near the triage site. That N01 asked about the scalpel still clutched in her bloody hand. Back on the Roosevelt, the Admiral was silent for a long moment. Then, quietly, "Your Nightingale." Rachel quickly pulled her shirt down, but it was too late. The whispers had already started. Nightingale. The call sign given to an unnamed field medic in Iraq who'd reportedly saved dozens under fire. The one who disappeared after her tour, leaving only rumors. The Admiral stepped closer, his voice low. "I read the after-action report. They said you killed 4 men hand-to-hand that day." Rachel met his gaze evenly. "I was defending my patients, sir." The Admiral did something then that no one on the ship had ever seen. He saluted her. "The truth comes out within hours." The story spread. How Rachel had turned down a Silver Star because she was just doing her job. How she'd left combat medicine to prove she was more than just a trauma doc. How those rib scars were from a fight that saved 11 Marines. That night in the officers' mess, a young lieutenant made the mistake of saying, "Guess they'll promote her now just for having scars." The Admiral's coffee cup slammed down so hard the table shook. "That woman," he growled, "could have had any posting she wanted after Mosul. She chose to earn her place the hard way." He stood, glaring around the room. "And if I hear one more word about her, just being anything, I'll personally see you scrubbing decks with a toothbrush." Epilogue. 2 months later, Rachel stood on the deck at sunset when the Admiral approached. "New orders," he said, handing her an envelope. She opened it, expecting a transfer. Instead, she found promotion papers and a handwritten note from the Surgeon General. "We need leaders who know the cost of healing. Welcome to the big table, Nightingale." As the Admiral walked away, Rachel ran her fingers over her rib scars. Now, no longer just wounds, but proof. that some doctors earn their rank one life at a time. The end.